Yo, it's another day. It's on 10th of April 2024. Today's diary. I'm just having my breakfast. Just having my breakfast slowly. And I've just decided that I've just woken up and moved out of my room, for that matter, because I don't want to be in that room. I might get unexpected visitors, such as which lead to some things and ruining the day. So I've just decided, I've just woken up not to be in the house, literally. So actually what woke me up is the knock of the caretaker today. I guess he came on that was on which day? He came on Friday, and I told him that he needs to wait until Tuesday. Now he came on Wednesday to collect the rent dues, and now this one I'm paying the rent for last month actually. So yeah, that's but I'm moving from that stage where I'm renting a house and I'll own one in just a few weeks coming, although it will watch my pace. It's coming, and I'll need to plan for that event in which I'm going to own a house somewhere, my house for that matter, because I really want to have that freedom where I do not want anyone coming at the end of the month and taking my rent dues. You're just your own boss, and again you are someone else's boss, because I'll be building some rent apartments, and I'll be renting them to students here in Moi. Okay, that's my plan. And yeah, so that's why I've woken up. I've woken up not to be in the house anymore, just waking up to be there and outside the nini, so that your mind can be busy and my mind can be busy with some other things. So as I was moving out of the house, I have just met this old lady, and surprisingly, what I noted is that she does not know how to use a phone. So I'm just there. So she wanted to borrow some airtime, and now here's the story now. We just met. She greeted me and I responded, habari yako? Nzuri. Went on and asked me there's something that I wanted you to help me with, and here we are in a distance, for like we are a distance from each other in a path, like 3 meters from each other. Um, my intuition thoughts tells me that do not come close to her, because nowadays people are unpredictable. Because you, I have had instances in which people are being conned simply just by talking to each other, because they have this effect where when they talk to you, or you meet someone somewhere, and they start talking to you, and you lose your conscious state. Like right now, I'm aware that I'm doing this video. I'm aware that I am who I am. Now that's the what I'm talking about. They greet you, they start talking to you. It's just a matter of time, and you go unconscious. Although you are very aware of what of the physical things, I guess they manipulate the unconscious mind and the conscious mind. The unconscious mind is somehow affected, and what happens is you stop knowing yourself for some minutes, and that's how you are robbed. In this time we are living in, it's just chaotic. You just have to be careful of the person you are dealing with outside your house. Like, okay, imagine it got okay, let me just finish the story and I'll come back to yesterday. There's something that happened yesterday which I'm going to talk about. So that lady, she's in her 60s probably, so she wanted to borrow some airtime, some okoa. And what I asked her, since we are in a distance of 3 meters from each other, now back to the story where we were at that. So we have just stopped. We are a distance from each other. I'm fearing that she might have some intentions that I don't know, and I'm trying to figure out. So what happened is, I tell this lady, okay, she asked me, how do I borrow some airtime from Nini? How do I okoa? And I asked her, which line are you using? Which service provider are you using? And she tells me that she's trying to borrow from Safaricom. Obviously, I know how these network providers provide the airtime loan. It's actually a loan, airtime loan. So I tell her she should press star 131, then you put the hash sign, and then you call that code, like you are like calling someone. So she does that, she follows the instructions, and for me, how I take leadership, I don't know how in this case, how I guide someone is that I've given you something. Now I expect you to finish what needs to be supposed to finished, because I'm normally that person who tells you something, the right direction, and I leave you at that. I'll not guide you anymore from there, because I've just give you a new hint. And if I see you that you are sane, and you're using your brains, and your brains are working, it's now up to you to work it out, because I don't care. You just figure out what needs to be done. It usually happens for some reasons. I don't know. I guess my leadership skills are somewhere. Anyway, let me go back to the story. So I guide her, and it fails on her own. I noted that she hadn't seen something. You know, when you send that request, it usually gives you some options, and she saw some options that aren't fitting in the need that she wanted to be solved. So my thoughts tell me that okay, this person, I guess she's innocent with the way she's speaking, with the way she looks. She doesn't seem like a person with bad intentions, because you must also look at the surrounding, who is around you, who is actually looking at you, because these robbers of nowadays, they usually come in uh, maybe they are two, they are working together, they are three probably. That scenario that I've given, that robbery happens, it usually doesn't involve one person, it usually involves one or more, and mostly to two, three, or two people. And now the person approaching you is the main target. Actually, is the main suspect. The other one, the assistant. Or do you call them backup? No. Now I had to look at that. I look at my surrounding, where she was coming from, and I noted that okay, there's no one really that is looking, and no one is approaching. So likely this the case is genuine, and I come close to her and I help her. She dials the code again, *131# from Safaricom, and I guide her into getting the loan, airtime loan. Only that I didn't touch the phone. I didn't want to touch the phone. Again, you must be very cautious when dealing with such people, because you don't know their intentions. Because well, many things have happened in this world, and you at least I'm knowledgeable. I'm just aware of the evil world we are living in. So you just have to be very careful of who you are dealing with, who you are talking with, what are you touching, and all sorts of things. So she got her loan and thanked me. And at that point, when she got the message that she has gotten the loan, Safaricom usually cuts 5 bob for service fee. You know, out of that 50 bob, you get 45 bob for. Now after they deducted the 5 is it the 5 shillings service fee, and yeah. So I get an unexpected answer from her, actually a question from her. She tells me, waiting for the lorry to pass. So she gives me an unexpected answer, actually questioned for that matter, and asks me, which tribe are you? Of course. And which place do you come from? Of course. Of course, the introvert that I am, the reserved person that I am, the aware person that I am, I couldn't answer the first question, like at which tribe are you coming from? Because my goodness, remember I'm in Eldoret. This place is full of what do you call them? Kalenjin, and the rivalry between Kikuyus and I'm a Kikuyu. Do I consider? Yeah, I'm a Kikuyu anyway. And I didn't want to answer her question for personal reasons, because at that point, if I could have answered that question, trust me, it could have changed her view of me, how she looked at me when we just met, because I've never seen her anywhere. I've just met today. It could have just changed the narrative and the view could have changed. And I was trying as much as possible to avoid that, because it's just not worth it. You don't give much information to strangers. Give them what is relevant to you. Okay, to them at that point. Don't give much information. And that's what I've learned over time. Never give information that is unnecessary. Give, because I'm sure if I could have mentioned the tribe that I come from, could have led to other things. Nowadays, giving the first impression is always my go-to secret to insert to show dominance and control over my life. Actually, control over what is there, what is the context we are talking about. Maybe friendship. And yeah, I answered her. I told her that I come from Nakuru. And that was it. That was enough to answer her first questions, but partially. And I struggled to get her accent, where it came from, and I doubt if it was a Kalenjin. And we are just it got me thinking, which society are we just living in? Yani, just because I've helped you, you want to know my tribe? Like, really? But I understand her that as much as she was there, but it begs the questions, like, which tribe are you coming from? This yes. So it happens that yeah, the old society that we are living in is a bit worrying, because somehow I just don't understand. Like the other day, we just came from 207 tribal clashes between Kikuyus and Kalenjins, and yet people are just interested in the tribe that you come from, so that she can do, or they can relate, or how do I put it, like, people depend on that so that you can communicate now. And we really must change that as a country. Now I'm talking about Kenya, but I don't know, because many people are just driven. These old people. There's this generation that came before the millennials. I don't know their name. Do they even have a name? I don't know. So that generation, and yeah, that generation is actually driven by those things. And remember, this thing was brought by colonization. It came about by colonization, because this when the Mzungu, the whites, decided to the rule that they used is divide and conquer. and that's how tribalism came about, and it's very worrying. But slowly but surely, times are changing because I'm not using because it's too much. um, the millennials and the Gen Zs, especially Gen Zs of nowadays, and I'm one of them, proudly one of them. We are reaching in a point where we really don't give a fuck about those tribalism things. Because anyway, as much as we may do that, we are just giving this don't care attitude, which according to me is actually a good thing. Because nowadays we are just equal, and this has been attributed by some other factors such as um, the something I was actually about to talk about a certain subject in controversial to the world right now. I guess today's video will be long. Today's video will be long. So, which is attributed by feminism and gender what? Specialization. So actually to talk about that, and it's fine. So the Gen Zs are slowly moving out of those ideologies and beliefs, non-existent beliefs. So it's actually something that has just been instilled by some other people that had no even good intention about that. Hey, these people called the whites, the British, they really just wanted to actually divide Africans based on their tribalism. Although they ruled, they achieved their aim or goal, or the intentions. They achieved the intentions. As much as they did that, for a long time. Right now in Kenya we are almost 60 years plus. I don't know, I'm not sure, it's about 60 or 61 years from independence, and up to this point those negative tribalistic and ideologies, they still do exist even long after independence, and it's quite sad to see the society that you are living in. And okay, let me talk about this thing. By the way, this thing has just reminded me of some things. So and this is not personal, by the way. Whatever I'm going to speak is, it's just a reflection of how the what do you call it, the society is. So the other day I had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend, and she doesn't come. We don't share the same tribe. I'm a Kikuyu and she's from another tribe. So we are in a relationship somewhere. We enjoy the relationship. Parents are not aware of the relationship, and now I just decided, let me do this. Let me just inform my. By the way, I've said that it's not personal, that it gives an insight of how the society is. It happens that I tell my mom that I have a girlfriend, but she's not Now she came to ask, and this came automatically. That's one thing that I've come to note. This came automatically. She tells me, okay, she asked me which tribe is she from, and I tell her the tribe that she comes from. And she's a bit worried. I see the change of face. And in the next days, some days later, she comes and tells me, I really should not have. Okay, she was actually not telling me in a direct way, but I guess it was speaking about the. Okay, she was proving the point. She tells me that I will really will not advise you to marry or actually have girlfriends from other. Actually, the word she used is marry from other tribes, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, does that even really matter? Does that really even matter? Because anyway, we are just human beings. We are Africans. Why don't we just be proud of ourselves? And that's one thing that I've come to realize. We are just selfish in a way, and that's how tribalism came. Even long after the effects of divide and conquer, and I just felt sad. And there's one thing that I've come to note of those millennials that support this thing of okay tribalism and all those sorts of those negative things. The fact remains that those people supporting tribalism and such negative okay, no, nepotism doesn't fit that context. Let me just talk about tribalism. Tribalism is brought about by those societal beliefs that we must live according to tribes and we must relate according to tribes, because I've come to note that there's some certain ways we treat each other in Kenya. When Kikuyus are relating to lawyers, it's quite different from how we relate to Luos, and it's quite different from, like, we just relate differently with different people. Like, there's a way this Kisii, Abagusi tribe are treated by other people, which is quite sad, by the way. Let's come to just but we're just living in that society, so we must just conform. What I was talking about those people who believe in those things. Somehow you can tell those people that believe in those things are uneducated, or they are partially educated for that matter, because you see they even thought of, okay, let me give an example. Okay, a general example. What I've come to notice that these people that are waiting for the tractor to pass, so yeah, those people that are learned, that are educated, you see, they don't put much put much effort on some things, because they went to school. They appreciate that people are diverse, they have their own different cultures. We are just different anyway, in all sorts of things. Only some things united, such as tribe. Imagine you are just differentiated by the language that you speak, and what you will come to note, those educated people do not care as much as it influences them, because at some point it reaches a point where the society now gives or actually directs what you believe in, what you do, I just don't know how to explain that. But when you are fixed in a context, you tend to conform with the society or the environment that is around you, because it's true. Were it not for people living together, you couldn't have those tribal things. Like, living together means, I mean that these people are scattered all over the world. Like, all Africans are just scattered all around, and we are living with the whites. We coexist with the whites, like together. There's no continent of the blacks, there's no special area in which tribes live in. No, actually, race actually, or all walks of human race live. That's my point. That's the people that I'm talking about. So, and it's quite sad, but education has come to enlighten me, because if I couldn't be learned right now, and I'm somewhere in the village, I could just have those bad thoughts. But millennials partially, and this Gen Zs really don't care. Really don't care if you are white. Personally, I really do not care about the tribe that you come from, the color that you come from, and I really do not care about the person that I'll now, according to the context that I'm talking about, tribe and race, black or white, whichever tribe that you come from. I really do not care which tribe that I'll marry, because it's just a turn off. Yani, you could just miss up an opportunity to marry the right person, your soulmate, so because of color, because of tribe. I'm sorry, that's not me, and I'll never do that. It's 33 minutes, but I hadn't had those intentions of speaking about this thing, but it has really affected me in one or the other, and those are my opinions. Right now, tribe doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, but if you conform to earning my respect, you have values which I consider a priority to me, fine, we are good to relate. Your personality reflects on the person that I can relate with. Good, that's what I want. Nowadays I just relate with people according to their personal, the value that they are giving to me, because it's such a turn off to just think of other things that do not matter. Yeah, that's it. So I was to talk about the yesterday story, although it's not quite interesting. Again, it's another negative one. Happened that Yesterday, when I was in my room, this group of girls come to my house, and from the looks, they were just house hunting. Now, they come knock at my door. That's cool. That's cool. Fine. They knock at my door. They tell me, they ask me questions. Oh, they start by greeting me. Barienu, Bariako for that matter. I was alone. I don't know why I'm reflecting. Okay, it's just that they came in a group that I'm only thinking of them as a greeting. So they greet me. How are you? I am fine. Niko poa, and that is in Kiswahili. These girls, they are just fellow comrades. They are just students in Moi University. Now it happens that they ask me some questions. Okay, they tell me their intentions. Okay, what happened is one of them, actually, I'm assuming that this person was the person that was interested in now the subject that I'm going to talk about. This girl asked me, how much do you pay for these houses? I tell her 3,000 Kenyan shillings. Well, in reality, we pay 2,500 because I was putting that as anyway. I just avoid giving the right figures when I'm quoting some things. We are Kikuyus. And the Kikuyus are, but they have been what do you call being trained in a cult. This is actually a word that is used. Oh yes, being recruited in a cult. In this culture of you're not giving the right figure. And Kikuyus are known for that. By the way, Kikuyus are known for doing good business. They are businessmen, only that they sometimes misquote some prices of some things. Let's say I decide to go buy a let's say a hood that is about 3,000. Imagine the buyer will tell me that the hood goes for 5,000. 2,000 slapped. You are slapped with 2,000 Kenyan shillings on your face. So it's up to you how to know what the value, what item you are buying, where you are buying, how much it is worth, so that you can negotiate. Because you can really buy something for double price when you could have bought for the right price. As the Kikuyus for you. So I misquote that. Someone is giving me a hand sign, and I think it's someone else. They are talking to some other people. Anyway, back to the story. So I misquote the price, and they asked me, is it not to 2,500? I tell them, of course I didn't tell them no. I tell them this is how we pay here, because I was avoiding that question off. But then I fell into a temptation where I just said whatever is not there, and they asked if it was right, and I avoided that question. Nowadays I have learned to dodge questions that are of no interest to me, or You're just or I just want to know the personality of this person that I'm dealing with, or the emotions. I avoid to answer. I tend to ask, dodge those questions because of those reasons. To see what your intention is, and to avoid personal questions that you feel that they just have they leave just a bad effect on your emotions. So I avoid that and tell them it's that. Now what happens next is that it's a bit worrying. Now after telling them the price, they demand to see the house, and one of them asks me, can you just open the door so that you can see inside? Like what the fuck? That's when okay, my patience just left me, and I'm just in the position. You know what? Fuck you, fuck you all. They were like four girls. I don't know. They were about 5 or 6 girls, and this main girl wants to see what is in there, and the careful person that I am, I decided, you know what? No, that won't happen under my watch. I don't know your intentions. Of course, you are speaking that to yourself in your mind. I really do not know what your intentions are. So, and the way you are communicating, you are just not giving me those those vibes, those. But then this story, I'll talk about it some days from now. It will be a subject from now. Communication to other people. So I just refuse and tell them, you know what? Fuck you. Of course, you cannot tell them. I tell them due to personal issues or personal. What do we call this? Deservation? No. This space in which you are given so that you can do things on your own. They are called not personal space. I'm just not finding the right words. It's it's not actually a secret. It's actually called personal space. I don't know. I just have forgotten the word. I don't know why some words leave me when I should really have them in my fingertips. So that word where you are just given some personals, like you are looking for personal, you just want to value your personal space, for lack of a better word. Space is the word that I'm trying to replace. But yeah, it drives the point home. I tell them that politely, and they just had to leave. And I guess one of the girl saw that I'm not really interested. And by the way they came and greet me, it suggested something. They greet me, I pause for like 2 or 3 seconds. You know, when you are greeted and you give someone those 2-3 seconds, it creates an atmosphere of uncertainty. And one girl, I saw that she was not comfortable with that. I just had to show them that you're coming to the wrong person, and they just left like that after giving them the nini, that negative nini, of course in a polite way. although in the middle of the conversation I talked somehow rude. They asked me, we want to see the size of the room, and I told them they are just houses are supposed to be. The size, the normal size that you see, is actually the size of this home, the size of this house. And that was it by the way. It sounded somehow rude, but that's what I do. I do that. I actually need to change some communication aspects. I'm somehow rude to strangers, or when you try to be someone that was not expecting you to be. But that's how I am. No personal nini. Don't be personal with me. I just take strangers to be somehow people with bad intentions. Nowadays, we just can't trust people. You even doubt yourself. The context is you just can't trust someone anyway. Right now, the only person you can trust is your God. We're just living in this world where capitalism rules. Everyone for himself, God for everyone. Because it's quite a sad scenario. And that's that. By the way, I've talked for 46 minutes. And I don't know. I'm improving, by the way. I'm improving my skills. Talking skills. So I'm giving myself 1 month. After 1 month, I'll be speaking a story with a with a start, with a climax, and with the end. Me, I do things differently. I mix things up. I somehow just want to fix that, because I just want to fix my communication skills for a purpose. Because I'll be talking in summits, I'll be talking in big meetings, I'll be giving stories. I want to. Is this bad? By the way, I do not know the name of this bird. Anyway, fine. I'll talk about this next subject, I guess, tomorrow. Because I don't know if I'll find something to write in my diary today. Something else. Right now, I want to go to the Wi-Fi and do some other things online. Yes, I'm planning to do some research for another YouTube channel that I'm starting. And I'm just in that stage where I'm planning some things and do some other things. My next exam is on Friday, so I have a day before my next exam. Today's exam was postponed. Yay! But I'm happy about that. It will give me a lot of time to just revise and go over some past papers. I realized that here in Moi they just give more past papers than currently. A new exam that has been set up by someone, they give more past papers. It's fine. And now this however some concern, so I'm gonna start moving in the direction of the library. Well, I'm looking to upload the video in my YouTube channel. This one will be a long one. I don't know. So I'm going to the library, and my concern is this institution doesn't give somewhere you can look for past papers here. It's now you to figure out where you can get them. Either you approach can you call them lecturers or something like that. It's fine. Good things do not come easy. Till another day or a time is today's diary. I've written it, and it's quite a long one, but I didn't expect to do this. I was actually planning to do 15 minutes of the subject that was in mind, but I guess I'll do half tomorrow. I'll talk about it. Adios.